Hello everybody and welcome back to Attack of the B Team. Today we are going to drink some coffee. And then what we're going to do is back in the last episode where I was working on the Flan's mod gun stuff with Iron Man. I got a little crazy after that episode, you see, and I kind of started making all the guns because I wanted to try them all out, right? Like, we got a whole bunch of them in here. These were the two I think I made in the episode. Maybe one of these ones as well. This guy, maybe the M21 as well. But yeah, because I have a silencer on that, I think. But yeah, I just started going through and making all the guns, and I made it to the mini Uzi. And if we look through here, right, so I made quite a few of them, but there's still a ton more stuff to make. And a lot of it takes this fiberglass and like just tons and tons of this fiberglass. And it's really annoying to make. So I'm going to show you guys a way that we can simplify that process. So we've always got fiberglass when we need it. Because even once we've made all the guns, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think if we go to the a little bit more, yeah, so like claymores like these and grenades, right, like these guys are, when you use them, they're gone. And so if you wanted to make more grenades, you'd have to make more fiberglass. Same with the claymores, same with the C4 plastic explosives, right? So the things you throw don't you'll have to make again, right? And then like this stuff too, I wonder, like all of the modifications might take it as well. So anyhow, we're gonna need a lot of it. So you'll see here, I've got my wonderful chest of stuff like I normally do these days. And let's pick it up. And we're gonna head back downstairs to this room. Now, I did a little bit of prepping in here, not much, but basically just extended along all of this stuff, right? So that we can wrap it around. And I'm gonna be using most of this, if not all of this space, I think. So let's just tear out a little bit more of this wall here, and we might as well make it look the same. Then you can see the work that was done back here. I think I can actually simplify this a little bit too. It looks even, sort of. I think I can simplify this guy. I don't know if we actually need him, but we'll see in the end. All right, so this is our workspace here. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is take our chest and we're gonna plop it down like so, and get that out of the way, because that in your hand is a dangerous item. Oh, and look at this. I got a trophy. So let's go put him somewhere. So I was just wandering about and I came across this trophy when I killed a witch. So let's just put him, yeah, that's still there. Do I have like a side table up here I can put it on? No. How about right here? Let's put the witch there. Now watch this. Get witched. It gives you, oh, blindness 2 for like 2 seconds. That's hilarious. So there's a whole bunch of these trophies that you can get that'll drop when you kill enough zombies. When you kill enough of that particular mob, there's a chance that you'll get a trophy for all the different things. And I actually got it when I smacked a witch with the bad boy. So with my Tinker's Construct Cutlass. And if I head back down. All right, now we're ready to start. Here's our chest of goodies, right? So we got a bunch of machines that we need to hook up today. Yeah, I don't think we need that stone. So yeah, let's put that up there. Let's put that up there and that up there. We definitely don't need those things. The first thing we need is the igneous extruder, and we're gonna stick him in right here. Now the igneous extruder doesn't need power, but that's just kind of how my setup is, right? So it's hooked up anyway, even though it doesn't need it. So you don't have to have it attached to power, just FYI, right? That's just because that's how I do it. And the cost of that pipe is pretty cheap, so whatever. And what we want this guy to do, is make cobblestone. Now, cobblestone in that machine, you need lava. And I think, did I have a Magma Crucible. Ignis. Yeah, so I had one of these guys up here too, right? That I was trying to make obsidian with out of, right? But if I go, I need 2 of these buckets, and we need our tank of lava. Let's just put that on there. I need 1 bucket of lava, and I need 1 bucket of water. And then we can come down here, and if we click on the water on this guy, and we click on the lava bucket on this guy, you can see he's already working, right? So we disabled everything, nothing, or we made sure it doesn't need any redstone, and we disabled all the connections. But you can see the lava is not moving. So you put 1 bucket in, gives you 1,000, right? 1 bucket of water gives you 1,000, and it'll go to town, and it'll make cobblestone forever. Now, it'll stop at 64, obviously, because that's the size of the stack. And so the next thing we need to do is the same thing that we've been doing with all these other machines, which I've got all the gear in here. So let's grab all of our different chips. And as you can see, I went ahead and upgraded all the ones that could be upgraded as well with all of the upgrades that we've done before. Took forever. That's what this guy was for here. Now this guy doesn't need any input, right? So let's not waste. Let's take some of this stuff, and we've got our pick here. We don't need this up here. That's just a waste. No, come back. Yeah, let's take 2 out. Okay, cool. And we'll put this one, or darn, put that one back. And I'll just put a normal old one up here so it doesn't connect. But it still lets this pipe go through. Because this guy doesn't need any input. Because normally, right, like up here, what we've been doing is putting the item stock keeper chips so that it could feed this machine with what we need. So now it's building cobblestone. And down here, we need to give it a extractor chip and stock keeper. So stock keeper is on the top. And so we need 1 of these guys and 1 of these guys in here. And I'm just doing that by using the mouse wheel up. It just throws them in. Right, so now we can broadcast what's in here and respond to requests for what's in here. So this will just generate and show cobblestone, just like we've done before, right? So if I come in here, and there's a mob in my base. Look at all of the, how is there? Okay, fine. Done. But if we look in here and we go gobble, if it's already done, so we got 402, repull, 402, must already be done. Anyhow, it would be going up. I bet you this thing is already full with 64 items. Yeah, it is. So it's responding, right? Now, the next thing that we need to do is we need to grab our next machine, which is our pulverizer. Let me just put these up here. We don't need them at the moment. Yeah. So we need our pulverizer, and we're going to stick the pulverizer. Where do we want this? So we got, I think we can put him right here. And again, just by default, I always just switch these things so that there's no defaults, right? And it doesn't start doing weird things in the beginning. So now what we want the pulverizer to do is basically take the cobblestone from here and pulverize it. So we need a item stock keeper chip first and foremost. If we go in here, now if I do this, it's going to force me to take all of the cobble and then start generating again. And I hit on the stock refill when items are missing. I just want a piece of cobblestone, right? So now if I throw that up here, as this generates cobble, you'll see it fly out and go into the top here. Don't make a liar out of me. Everything's connected up. Fill 1 cobblestone. Item responder chip. Item broadcaster chip. Come on. Item stock keeper chip. What's going on here? Why aren't you broadcaster and responder? Just maybe force it to reset those. Force it to reset that. 1 cobble. Okay, well, we'll let that sit for a minute. We'll keep going, but this should definitely work. This is exactly how these guys are working, right? Responder, broadcaster, stock keeper. And stock when missing. Stock when missing, 1 cobblestone. That's cobblestone. Interesting. Looks all together to me. Oh! You're all screaming at the monitor. I'm sorry. Input on the top, output on the bottom. Right? My bad. There it goes. Now it's the way it goes. Wow. Okay. So yeah, that's what we want to do is all input on top, output on the bottom. Now this guy is going to make sand. And there's also a really low chance, I don't know how low, but there's a low chance anyway that it's also going to make gravel. I don't want that gravel mucking up the system, right? So I'm going to take one of these item extractor chips. And there, see, it made a piece of gravel. I'm going to take that piece of gravel. And we're going to put a filter on this. And we're going to say whitelisted. Gravel. So gravel is whitelisted on this extractor chip. If this would go back into my inventory. There we go. And now if I put that chip down here, you'll see it should pull out the gravel the next time it makes one. It'll basically keep the gravel coming out and heading into the storage system, right? So that it doesn't stay in here, which means that if this got full up, right, this would stop making sand if you pulled it out or whatever. Even though this one obviously can contain more, if you just kind of kept going and going and going, this would eventually fill up and then stop it from working. So that'll keep all the gravel from staying in there. So now it's just, now we've got a sand generator. We don't ever have to go get sand again. That's one really cool thing right there. You could stop right here. That's really useful. We, however, want to continue. Next. We grab our induction smelter and our pulverizer. Now I want to put these over here because I want them side by side. So I'm going to put the induction smelter here. Oops. And disable everything. And I'm going to put the redstone pulverizer here and disable everything. Now, the setup for this is a little bit more complicated. So induction smelter, what we want in the induction smelter. So first and foremost, let's just go down here and we want a broadcaster chip. We need these 2 guys basically down here so that whatever, whoops, we don't want that many in there. So it can tell it what's in the system, right? Now again, so here, we don't want him up here. We just want a normal one of these, I believe. And then what we're gonna do is we need to start. So this guy here should accept stuff from the top. And so if we go, boom, I want to accept into this slot. So you just keep clicking from the top, right? And I want to accept into this slot from the right. So now it'll input from the right into here and from the top into here. Okay, and then we'll output everything to the bottom. That's what this guy's going to do. Now this guy is going to output to the right. Where do I have this backwards? Input. Basically, let's just think this through. So we want to output from the bottom and then have input from the side here, which means that here we need, maybe I did this wrong. We want to input everything from the top, blue, and we want to output, boom, 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 boom. There. I think this is actually how I want it. So I want to input from the top and I want to output whatever goes into here to the right, and I want the rest of it to output the bottom, okay? So what's going to happen here now is we do need to go grab 4 pieces of iron. Oh, I don't have, let's just grab 1 piece of that. human. There you are. Turn it into ingots, like so. And then if we need 4 of these. We just basically need to prime the system with this. So we put these 4 in here. It's going to turn them into pulverized iron. And it's going to shoot them out the bottom when somebody requests for them, right? So now we've got 4 pulverized iron in here waiting to come out. It's telling the system that is there. Now this guy needs to request, this is a induction smelter. So this guy needs to request those things. So we want 2 of these for now, just so we can set up, whoops, wow. Just split those. We want to set up our stockkeeper chip to say we need sand and that. So if I go, this stockkeeper should say I want 1 piece of sand, come on, and I want 2 pieces of pulverized iron. So for every 1 piece of sand and 2 pieces of pulverized iron, keep that in stock, put that up there. And then if I put, oh darn, I pulled it out of here. So now so if I put this here, no. All right, so if so the system would normally drop this in here, right? So it's got a piece there. If I throw this in here, that is going to create a piece of iron, right? Plops it over here. That outputs the iron over here, right? And now it makes another one. Now it's basically, so it's taking the sand from here, putting that in the top into an empty slot here. And it's taking the pulverized iron from here and putting it into an empty slot up here. Anything that outputs here, which is always going to be the iron, will always get put into here. And it basically is an infinite system. It'll go around forever because it'll just take the pulverized iron, turn it back into iron ingot, put it back in here, pulverize it, put it around. So you just need those 4 to get that going. And then you need obviously the infinite sand generator over here to keep feeding that. And what this is doing is it gives you a low chance of producing slag, which will be available from the bottom. So eventually this should hopefully give us a piece of slag. There we go. I'll take that because we need that for our next machine. So now we've got an infinite slag producer. Now why, you might ask, do we need slag? Well, let's take our first cyclic assembler, which is the auto crafting unit, right? And like always, down here, we put in these two bad boys. And we need to, oh darn, I don't have a, if we go over here, we need I think we need 2 schematics, which is blue C dye and 2 pieces of paper. So blue, light blue dye. We don't have, so that should hopefully be enough. We need 2, so we need 4 of those. I believe the blue stained saplings work just like the dye and paper. Sugar. Let's submit for all of those. Actually, I think I might have some paper upstairs in this guy. Yeah, I do. Okay, so we need that dye in this paper, so let's just head back downstairs. Whoops, and through here. Was it the other way around? I don't even remember anymore. Like that, completely different. So we need 1, 2 schematics. Okay. Let's drop stuff we don't need back into the system, like all of that. We don't need those anymore. Okay. Very, very good. Now, let's head back over here. We got to put our schematic up in here. And let's turn all of that off. Oh, because it's already receiving things that we didn't want it to receive. All right, This is why I normally just default the mold to off. So we got a blank schematic in here. Now we want to set up what it is we want it to craft, right? So we need to say 2 pieces of the slag, and we need, oh darn it. Okay, we're gonna have to redo that. We also need a piece of dirt. Submit. And we need another, while that's retrieving, we need one more bucket of water. Like so. Which now just reminds me that means that this guy, coming to me, needs to go over here. Because we need to give this guy a water source as well. So let's put him back in here. The recipe we want to make is 2 pieces of slag and a bucket of water. And darn it, that dirt. There we go. Doody-doody-doo. And I don't remember where the dirt goes. Does dirt go there and the water go there? And the slag go there? Yeah, and that makes, dun-da-da, it makes clay. So there you go. Now we can make clay with these ingredients, right? So we need slag, water, and dirt. Now we got lots of dirt in our system. We've got slag being generated by our system. So if we put this and this into there, and then we take our item stock keeper, whoops, and we say we always want a piece of dirt. We always want 2 pieces of slag to be inputted here, right? So I mean, obviously we got lots of dirt in the system, and if we run out, we can always go get more. So this should then fill up that once I say that everything comes in from the top, and then everything goes out the bottom, right? So that's going to keep this thing filled up with dirt and slag. So I'll just put what I have in here for now, but we should get more stuff coming in. So that's all running. So let's make sure this is still going. Yeah, see, we got 5 slag over here. Did we put our, yeah, okay, good. So it's responding. This should get another piece of slag, I would hope. Oh, I didn't put in the chip. There we go. 1 piece of dirt and 2 pieces of slag. So that should now make sure that there's always 2 pieces of dirt, or a piece of dirt and 2 slag in here. There you go. And the last thing we need to do now is I'm going to have to turn quickly into bat mode so that we can make a new pipe. So we need our fluid ducts, and we're going to dig up here so that we can bring a pipe out, and let's just go straight through here. I think this should meet up with our other system. It's getting dark, but there we go. Okay, and then I'm going to turn this way. And that also met up with our other system over there. And this meets up there. And if we come straight through here, look at that. There's our water duct. So let's just run. There might have been some forethought and some planning before I did this. Just maybe. Yeah, so I found the route that I wanted to go. And that's probably going to fold down to bring water all the way over here. Like that. And down to here. And it hooks up to this. Now let's turn back into us. Take a free hand. And if I now make this also an input, it fills up with water, and boom, we are now making coal, right? So it's going to try and keep this filled with slag and with dirt, and now we've got coal being generated. Clay being generated. Now we've got a couple more machines, and then we are done. So let's grab these 2 guys. We got the cyclic assembler. Let's put him right here. And let's disable everything for now. We need our schematic right in there. And now what we're trying to do is take our clay and a piece of sand. So let me grab some clay. And let's go back over here, right? So a piece of clay. And we got lots of sand in here. Whoops. So a piece of sand and a piece of clay turns into the sand and clay mixture, right? Sand and clay. That's what we want this thing to build. We want stuff to come in the top, and we want stuff to go out the bottom. This one doesn't need any water, so I put it over here. And like always, we need to tell people what we already had that in there from before when we made that mistake. And we need a stock keeper chip that we tell it needs a piece of sand and it needs a piece of clay, just like that. And we throw it up there. Now this should start requesting sand and clay from, so clay should be, comes out of there, should go into here, boom. And sand should come out of there and go into here. So we got a piece of clay, boom. And there you go. Now we got sand and clay mixture. So I'll just throw these back into here and let it work through that slowly. And the last machine is the redstone furnace. Now what we're going to do with this again is in from the top, out the bottom. Once more with feeling, we put in our responder chips and our broadcaster chips. And on the top, you probably already guessed it, we want some of this sand and clay mixture. So we throw this in here, fill mode, throw that up. Oops, no, that was close. Is this the right one? Sand and clay mixture, that goes into this machine. All right, so now it should request from here the sand and clay mixture that it's making into here. Boom, and it will smelt it into fiberglass. So let me just throw that all in there because we already generated it. And now this will be fiberglass in our system. All right, so we got 2 right now. It'll just keep building fiberglass for us. And of course it'll stop when it hits a full stack, which is 64. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to go to the request system and say fiber. Look at that. We've got 5 fiberglass already. Now we got 6. And now we'll have 7. And there we go. Now we have fiberglass. And most of this is generated and most of this is renewable. I think the only thing is the dirt that we'd have to refill. The rest of it all comes in here and is created automatically. And also, like, we'll have like an infinite, we'll always have like a full set of stacks in here of sand as well that we can have, right? We'll have clay if we want to just grab clay as well, right? Once this fills up and stops, there'll just be a stack of clay in here. So we'll have a bunch of just resources at our disposal. So isn't that cool? So the only other thing that these guns and all this kind of stuff, it needs a lot of iron as well. I have an idea about how to just generate that stuff as well. But basically now we have infinite amounts of fiberglass at our disposal. It is a little annoying that I have to always go back downstairs to this one. So what I'll probably do is I need to get another routed request pipe system into here. I should also put it in over there. And I should also run from here upstairs, which should be really easy. I should just run one up here as well, like maybe make it pop up over here and fill this chest or something, or maybe over here, so that we have it available for us while we're crafting, just like I did on this side, right? And eventually I think every room in this house, or at least every crafting area in this house, will have these routed request pipes, right? Get witched. Oh, I can't see. All right, so with that, I think we've done some good work today. And now we have unlimited amounts of fiberglass or renewable amounts of fiberglass that it will always be at our disposal, as well as you know, sand and clay and all of those kind of raw materials that we like so much. So yeah, we're slowly automating a bunch of things and just making things available to us. And soon we will also conquer iron. And with that, guys, I will see you all next time. And I'm back. So I totally forgot to give credit where credit is due. The idea for this system to make a infinite or continuous fiberglass system and the basic blocks that were involved in the basic recipes and how to do it all, I got the idea from DemoTheKeySmasher, I believe. He's got a few different tutorials. about how to do this. He kind of broke them up into some really clean and clear little demos and tutorials. I will leave the links for those in the comments as well if you want to check them out. It's a different setup, same machines, but a different way of doing it, maybe a bit more compact if you don't have a room like I have downstairs and this is all you wanted to build. It's another way and an alternative, so check it out for sure. And I'll see you guys all next time. This time I'm gone for good, or at least until the next episode. Bye bye for now.